Hello and welcome back to this listening video. Alright, today we will be answering these questions and you should remember all we talked about in our last class, how you should approach a plan or map question. Okay, so today we're going to dive right in, and having done all that is necessary, we've read our instructions, we've studied the map, we've analyzed it, and we've taken note of our reference points, so we're going to go right in.
You'll hear the librarian of a new town library talking to a group of people who are visiting the library. Okay, everyone. So, here we are at the entrance to the town library.
So, you want to take notes of the starting point, as I have said before. Here we are at the entrance of the library. So, they are the entrance, and that is where you should be positioned currently, right now. Okay, let's go on.
My name is Anne, and I'm the chief librarian here. And you'll usually find me at the desk just by the main entrance here. So, I'd like to tell you a bit about the way the library is organized and what you'll find where. And you should all have a plan in front of you. Well, as you see, my desk is just on your right as you go in. And opposite this, the first room on your left has an excellent collection of reference books and is also a place where people can read or study peacefully.
Okay, so we have the answer to question 11. So what's your answer? If you said reference books, you're correct. Yes, because the voice said, or the speaker in this case said, the room opposite the librarian's desk. And the room opposite that is 11. If that is not enough confirmation, she also said the first room on your left. Remember, our starting point where we are currently is the entrance, right? So from the entrance, the first room on our left is 11. So 11 is reference books. And she also mentioned that it's a room or a place where people can read and study peacefully. Don't let that bother you. There's nothing like that on our list of options. That's just extra information. So don't let that confuse you. The answer to 11 is reference books. All right, so let's move on.
Just beyond the librarian's desk on the right is a room where we have up-to-date periodicals such as newspapers and magazines. And this room also has a photocopier in case you want to copy any of the articles.
All right, so we have the answer to 12 already. And what's your answer? If you said periodicals, you're correct. Yes, because she said the room beyond the librarian's desk, and that is 12, right? She also said it's a room that has a photocopier and all of that. Don't let that bother you. If you're thinking because of that, the answer could be C. No, computers are not photocopiers. They are clearly different. So that's just to probably confuse you. That's more like a distractor. Don't let that confuse you, all right? So this is periodicals, G. So remember, you're writing G, not periodicals. All right, let's move on.
If you carry straight on, you'll come into a large room, and this is the main library area. There is fiction in the shelves on the left, and non-fiction materials on your right, and on the shelves on the far wall, there is an excellent collection of books relating to local history. We're hoping to add a section on local tourist attractions too, later in the year.
All right, so we have the answer to 13. Now you can see what we meant by the answers are given in the order of the questions. So you get the answer to 11 before you get 12, 13, and so on. All right, so what's your answer to 13? If you said local history collection, you're correct, because that is exactly what she said. Okay, so she mentioned that in the library area, right, that's the reference point right now. We are now in the library area. the shelves, there are shelves to your left, to your right. As you can see, we have fiction, non-fiction. But then she said the shelves on the far wall, which is 13, an excellent collection of books on local history. All right, so that is why local history collection is the answer. So the answer there is D. Okay, 13 is D. All right, let's move on.
Through the far door in the library, just past the fiction shelves, is a seminar room, and that can be booked for meetings or talks. And next door to that is the children's library, which has a good collection of stories and picture books for the under 11s.
Okay, so we have the answer to 14. And the reference point now is the seminar room. How do we get there? She mentioned that through the far door in the library, that's past fiction, you get into the seminar room, and next door to the seminar room is 14. Okay, so what is your answer? If you said children's books or B, you're correct. Yes, the answer is children's books, because she clearly mentioned that next door you have the children's library. And of course, what will you find in the children's library? Children's books. She also mentioned there that you have collections of stories and picture books for the under 11s. Okay, so children's books is the answer to 14. All right, let's take the last question now. So your answer is B, right? 14 is B. Good.
Then there's a large room to the right of the library area. That's the multimedia collection, where you can borrow DVDs and so on. And we also have CD-ROMs you can borrow to use on your computer at home. It was originally the art collection, but that's been moved to another building. And...
All right, so we have the answer to question 15. And what is your answer? If you said F, multimedia, you are correct. The reference point for this question is the library area. Again, we've moved away from seminar room. So she said a large room to the right of the library area, right? A large room to the right of the library area. So, and that is obviously 15. It's quite large, as you can see. Okay, and you hear things like DVDs, CD-ROMs, multimedia collection. So she clearly said that that's the multimedia collection. All right, so that is the answer to 15. And then there was a bit of a distractor there, what she said. It's originally the art collection, but that's been moved to another building. So don't choose art collection because you hear it. All right, so that's in that context, you could clearly hear that the art collection is no longer that space. All right, this is the end of where all our answers are, but there's a bit more to round off this conversation.
That's about it. Oh, there's also the library office on the left of the librarian's desk. Okay. Now, does anyone have any questions? Yes, thank you, sir.
All right, so that brings us to the end of these questions. Okay, so I hope you were able to pick one or two things here. As a matter of necessity, if you want to get better at this, you need to practice, okay? So you need to practice now that you understand some of the strategies and you know how to approach it, and you can see how these questions can be answered. Practice, practice, practice. Practice is key. All right, so thank you for joining me, and I'll see you in another video. Bye.